Michael, a jovial man in his mid-40s with a penchant for holiday cheer, transformed his front yard into a dazzling spectacle of holiday lights. Thousands of twinkling bulbs outlined his roof, wrapped around his porch columns, and cascaded down. A towering spruce in his yard, its branches aglow with red, green, and gold. Glowing reindeer pranced across the lawn, their wire frames shimmering with white LEDs, and a life-sized Santa sleigh sat near the driveway, sparkling under the crisp winter sky. Every evening, children from nearby streets would gather, their faces illuminated by the warm glow, giggling as they pointed at the flickering snowflakes projected onto Michael's garage. For Michael, this wasn't just decoration, it was a gift to the community, a way to spark joy and bring people together in a world that often felt divided. He'd spend weeks planning, stringing lights with care, each bulb a small promise of wonder. But not everyone shared Michael's enthusiasm. Across the street lived Mrs. Evelyn Parker, a woman in her late 60s whose stern demeanor was as predictable as the ticking of her antique grandfather clock. Her house, with its pristine shutters and not a leaf out of place, stood in stark contrast to Michael's festive explosion. Mrs. Parker was the neighborhood's self-appointed guardian of order, known for her complaints about everything from loud lawnmowers to unapproved mailboxes. To her, Michael's lights were an assault on decorum, too bright, too gaudy, and in her words, a public nuisance. One chilly December evening, as Michael adjusted a string of icicle lights, Mrs. Parker marched across the street, her coat buttoned tightly, her face set in a scowl. "Michael, this has gone too far," she said, her voice sharp as the winter air. "Those lights are blinding and the crowds are disturbing the peace. Take them down." Michael, wiping frost from his hands, smiled gently. "Evelyn, the kids love it. The neighbors do too. It's a tradition. Brings a little happiness, you know." Mrs. Parker's eyes narrowed. "If you don't remove them, I'll report you to the HOA." With that, she turned and stormed back to her dark, silent house. A week later, as Michael sipped hot cocoa on his porch, watching families drive by to admire the display, a letter arrived, its HOA logo glaring in bold red. The words inside were, "Cold. Your holiday decorations violate Section 4.2 of the Maple Grove HOA Guidelines for excessive lighting and public disturbance. Remove all decorations by December 15th or face fines of $150 per day." Michael's heart sank, the mug warm, against his trembling hands. He stepped outside, the glow of his lights casting a kaleidoscope of colors across the snow-dusted lawn. A group of children laughed as they chased each other under the reindeer, their parents waving at Michael with grateful smiles. He couldn't let them down. "If this is about holiday spirit," he muttered to himself, "I'm not giving up." Word of the HOA's demand spread like wildfire through Maple Grove. By the next evening, neighbors began to appear at Michael's door, not with complaints, but with solidarity. Mr. Johnson, a burly retiree from next door, clapped Michael on the shoulder. "Your lights are the best part of December, man. Don't let Parker ruin it." Mrs. Diaz, a single mom from down the street, arrived with her daughter Sophia, whose eyes sparkled as she said, "We wait all year for your house, Mr. Michael." Even the shy new couple, the Lynns, stopped by, offering a plate of homemade dumplings and quiet words of support. As they talked, an idea took root, bold and defiant. If the HOA wanted Michael's lights gone, what if the whole street lit up instead? Mrs. Diaz's face lit up. "Let's make this place a holiday wonderland. They can't fine us all." The neighborhood sprang into action. Over the next few days, Maple Grove transformed. The Johnsons strung blue and white LEDs across their porch, their glow reflecting off the snow. The Diaz family lined their driveway with candy cane stakes, each topped with a red bow. The Lynns, hesitant at first, hung delicate fairy lights in their shrubs, creating a soft, ethereal shimmer. Even old Mr. Callahan, who usually kept to himself, hauled out a dusty, inflatable snowman, its scarf fluttering in the breeze. By the ray. End of the week, the street was a dazzling tapestry of lights, blinking, twinkling, and glowing in every color imaginable. Cars lined up each evening, families from across town marveling at what the local paper dubbed Festival Street. Michael's heart swelled as he walked the block, the air filled with the hum of generators and the laughter of children. Mrs. Parker's house, dark and unadorned, stood out like a shadow in the sea of light. Mrs. Parker, however, was undeterred. She fired off another complaint to the HOA, her emails laced with indignation. "This is chaos. The entire street is out of control." She demanded immediate action, threatening to escalate to the town council. But the HOA board, led by the pragmatic but cautious Mr. Reynolds, began to waver. The public's love for Festival Street was undeniable. Social media buzzed with photos, and the local news ran a glowing segment interviewing kids who called Michael's house Christmas magic. Forcing the entire street to dismantle their displays would spark a revolt. And even the HOA knew they couldn't win that fight. At a tense board meeting, Mr. Reynolds tabled the issue, citing community feedback, and leaving Mrs. Parker's demands unanswered. On Christmas Eve, Michael stepped onto his porch, the air crisp and heavy with the scent of pine and hot chocolate. The street was alive with celebration. Neighbors gathered, sharing cookies, cider, and stories under the shimmering lights. Children darted between glowing snowmen and reindeer, their laughter mingling with a soft rendition of Jingle Bells. From a portable speaker, the Lynns handed out sparklers, their golden arcs dancing in the dark. Mrs. Diaz and Sophia led a group in a snowball fight, their shrieks echoing down the block. Michael scanned the crowd, his chest tight with gratitude. This wasn't just about lights. It was about community, about standing together against negativity. Across the street, Mrs. Parker's curtains twitched, her silhouette visible in the window. For a moment, Michael thought he saw her expression soften, but she didn't emerge. She stayed silent, her complaints drowned out by the joy she couldn't stop. As midnight approached, Michael raised a mug of cider, his voice carrying over the crowd. "To Maple Grove," he said, "and to proving that light always wins." The neighbors cheered, their glasses clinking, the street aglow with warmth. Festival Street had become more than a display. It was a testament to unity, a reminder that joy when shared could outshine even the coldest hearts.